And a good spiritual morning to you once again. I'm Father Cosmas. Thanks for joining me today for a quick chat and, of course, our morning cup of coffee. And first and foremost, Christos Anesti, Christ is risen. Truly he is risen. We just celebrated our resurrection services, our Eastern Orthodox Easter this past Sunday. And so it's our bright week. And yesterday we remembered St. George, the great martyr. His feast falls in April, but it gets moved when Easter is late, and we celebrate it on the day after Easter, on Bright Monday. And St. George was a great martyr and a soldier. So this is a clumsy segue, but I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things going on in society lately, things in the news that have to deal with war, because of course St. George was a soldier. Sorry for the clumsy segue, but I wanted to have a little fun. It's Bright Week. There's no fasting this week. Thought I'd talk about some fun stuff on today's video and on Thursday's video. So first off, what's going on? Let's talk about Ukraine and Russia. Let's talk about Palestine and Israel. And just a few things. So first and foremost, Ukraine and Russia. There's still a war going on, right? I don't see a lot of coverage on it. I assume it's still happening. I don't know why it's dragging on this long or how it's dragging on this long or what exactly is going on. I trust the news organizations as far as I can throw them. But the late development has been, well, now we've voted to send tens of billions of dollars in taxpayer money to support Ukraine. And, what do I think about that personally? Of course, I want to support Ukraine. There's no, winner or loser in this for me as an Orthodox Christian. They're all Orthodox. So it's a difficult situation. However, what I will say is this. You should have your own house in order before you try to go put someone else's house in order. And here in America, we are kind of a mess. We're not in order. There are a lot of people struggling right now. There are a lot of families struggling to make ends meet. There are a lot of people still experiencing sticker shock when they go to the grocery store. People are struggling. And so to say, yeah, you know what, we're going to take the money that you've worked really hard for, and we're just going to write a blank check, basically, and we're going to send it over there. I would say, okay, well, what are they doing with it? What do they spend? Well, we don't really know, but we trust them. Really? You trust them? Why would you trust them? You're trusting a government. I don't trust our government. And now we're trusting another government that we don't even know who they are or what they're doing. And the temptation for corruption is so strong. It's kind of like walking up to a homeless person who's lying on the sidewalk, high, and completely stoned out of their mind, and saying, you know what, buddy, here's $1,000 cash. Why don't you take this and go get a motel room and take a shower and buy a suit and get some food and go start interviewing for a job and get your life back together. And that sounds good. What's realistically going to happen? He's going to go buy drugs with it and OD right in front of you. You may as well have handed him a loaded pistol and said, here, have fun. It's not a good policy. And so that's a difficulty. So the first point I would make on that is, you know what, let's kind of worry about putting our own house in order. We are by no means in order. We are a mess in this country right now. And we're tens of trillions of dollars in debt. And we're taking money and sending it to another country that really has no accountability, and we don't know what they're doing with it. And can't really be trusted to know what they're doing with it. Maybe send humanitarian aid. Maybe send food. Maybe send supplies. Again, when you walk up to the homeless person, maybe offer to buy them lunch. Maybe give them a blanket. Maybe give them a backpack full of toiletries that they might need. Don't hand them thousands of dollars in cash and think that they're not going to go OD right in front of you. Now, the whole Palestinian-Israel thing on the college campuses, my initial reaction to that is one of just shock and, quite honestly, just disgust that we have such a level of delusion and hubris amongst the young people in this country that they think that the problem that's been raging for decades between Palestine and Israel is so simple that it can surely be solved if they go and pitch a tent in their quad and raise up a flag and scream genocide. Are you serious? Are you delusional? Do you have mental illness? Do you realize how complicated this issue is? No one's been able to solve it my whole life, but you think now you're going to go take over some buildings and threaten people and destroy property, call it a protest, and that's going to solve the problem. It's almost as ridiculous as these climate protesters blocking roads and thinking, no, we're going to draw attention to the climate problem, and we're going to solve the problem. One of the most complicated issues and high-profile issues of our day, you're going to solve by blocking a road, by sitting down in the middle of the street and breaking the law. You're going to solve the problem. Well, I want to draw attention to it because the climate problem, that's what it needs, more attention. It doesn't have enough attention right now. Global warming, we don't pay enough attention to that. Absolutely ridiculous, the level of hubris associated with that. These poor college kids that really don't know what they do. They really sort of say, well, who's oppressed today? That's what they do. They get on their phone, they go on Google, who's oppressed today? Whose cause can I take up? Oh, the Palestinians, they're being bombed. Let's go take up their cause. Never mind that they're housing terrorists. Let's go take up their cause. Well, you've got people that weren't even alive during 9/11. So what would they know about terrorism? Now let's go raise Palestinian flags and take down American flags and chant death to America, and let's sort of promote the people that are harboring and housing the terrorists and associated with them. Sounds like a plan. You know what you really want to help? Finish your classes and go get a job and contribute to society, and stop wasting resources and taxpayer dollars by sending out hundreds of cops and emergency personnel to take care of you in your delusion. This is ridiculous. America needs to come first. If we can't put our own house in order, we're not going to be able to help other people. And these are not simple problems that can be solved with a peaceful protest or a violent protest destroying property. These are complicated issues that they require a lot of thought and resources and effort, and even then, they're probably not going to really be solved because you have two sides, they both think they're right, and neither wants to give way. So guess what? There's going to be a war, and war is horrible and terrifying. People die. Innocent people die. They always have in war, and it's tragic and terrible, and no amount of protesting is going to stop that. If you want to do something responsible, contribute to society and try to help solve the problem in a reasonable and responsible way. That's the only thing that we really can do. And besides that, lastly, pray for these people. Don't forget to keep them in your prayers, to ask God to intercede and to try to establish peace, and to do that each and every day. Amen.